Hello everyone. In this video, we will learn about the significance of meiosis. In our previous class, we discussed about meiosis but in brief. Today we are going to discuss about significance of meiosis. We know that meiosis, it takes place in the sex cells of the body. So we are going to be taking this into consideration. Next thing that we have to remember before starting that meiosis is also known as reductional division. This we studied in the last class itself, that meiosis is also known as reductional division. So the number one point of significance comes from there only, that it helps in maintaining the chromosome number. In humans, the chromosome number is 46 in each cell of the body. But we know that in meiosis, we start with a diploid cell. After meiosis 1, this diploid cell divides into two haploid cells. This is after meiosis 1. After meiosis 2, what happens is these cells, they further divide into haploid cells. This happens in meiosis 2. So in this way, the maintenance of chromosome number is done with the help of meiosis. Like we started with a diploid number, that is 46. After meiosis 1, we got haploid number, which is 23. Again, after meiosis 2, the number was maintained as 23. So now, what is the significance of this 46 and 23 chromosomes? Why we want to maintain this number here? Let's understand it. After meiosis, what happens is, I am going to redraw it for you here. The diploid number change into haploid number. One diploid cell changes into 4 haploid cells. This much we know. But what is the significance? Why we want this 46 number to be changed into a 23 number? This is because we discussed that meiosis takes place in the sex cells of the body. So when it takes place here, the maintenance becomes important. Why? Because suppose this is a male sperm having 23 chromosomes and it gets fused, or it fuses with an egg with 23 chromosomes. So after this fusion, or we can say zygote formation, the number of chromosomes that I will be getting here are going to be 46, which ultimately I want in my cell. This is why this number needs to get halved, so that when male cell is going to fertilize the female cell, the normal 46 number is restored. Now imagine a situation when the number is not getting halved, instead it is getting the same. So in that case, where the number is not getting halved, say the sperm, it has 46 chromosome and the egg also has the 46 chromosomes. So after fertilization, we are going to get this number, which is not the normal chromosome number. So this does not happen. Diploid cell does not remain diploid in meiosis. Rather, it changes into a haploid cell, so that after fertilization, after the fusion of male and female cell, the normal number can be restored. The next function is the mixing up of genes. If we talk about mixing up of genes, then where it takes place, how it takes place, all the things we have to see here. When we talk about mixing up, it takes place in the meiosis 1 itself. How? Let's see. Suppose this is the cell. My cell now has two types of chromosomes, because we are talking about meiosis and we are talking about sex cells. So it is going to have both a mother's chromosome and a father's chromosome. So I am going to be taking two types here, two colors here to represent. The red one represent one parent's chromosome and the blue one represent another parent's chromosome. So these chromosomes we have studied in our previous class has aligned themselves in a homologous pair. What is a homologous pair? A homologous pair is the pair of chromosomes, one from each parent. I am going to take one pair here and elaborate it for you how mixing up of genes take place. So let's see. Suppose this is one parent's chromosome and this is another parent's chromosome. Say in one of the processes of meiosis 1, what happens is there is crossing over. Crossing over is the overlapping of non-sister chromatids. What are sister chromatids and what are non-sister chromatids is already been discussed in detail. Let me quickly take it for you here also. If we talk about chromatids of the same chromosome, these are two chromatids of one chromosome. If we talk about chromatids of same chromosome, they are going to be called as sister chromatids. If we talk about chromatids of two different chromosomes, one from one parent, another from another, then we are going to call it as non-sister chromatids. So the crossing over always takes place between the non-sister chromatids. Remember this. So how crossing over takes place? Let's see here. You can see there is this overlapping which is taking place between non-sister chromatids, wherein one parent's chromosome has overlapped the another parent's chromosome. Now what will happen? Let's see. Before that, this point where the crossing over between non-sister chromatids is taking place is known as chiasma. Okay. After this chiasma formation or the crossing over, now the chromosomes are going to appear like this. There is exchange of material between one parent and another parent's chromosomes. This is how mixing up of genes takes place between parent 1 and parent 2 of a homologous pair, and this mixing up results in variation, or we can say genetic recombination, which is another significance of meiosis. This is why meiosis is important in creating variation between individual, which is a result of crossing over which is taking place at the non-sister chromatid sites known as chiasm.
Also, there are topic-wise worksheets available. Kindly leave a comment in the comment section if you wish to avail the same. So don't forget to like, subscribe and comment below. Also hit the bell icon so that you will be notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you.